Every religion has a certain label. The Christians, their label is the cross. The Hindus, their label is the Om, or maybe a vermilion, a tika, which they wear on the head. The Jews, they wear a small cap behind. We can easily identify this is not a Muslim cap, it's a Jewish cap, a small cap. Every religion has a certain label. But the community which should be appreciated, which should be maximum appreciated for wearing the label is the Sikh community. The Sikhs, they are hardly 2% in the population of India, which is close to 1 billion people. Less than 2% are Sikhs. But they are proud to identify themselves as Sikhs. Always they wear the label. They wear that turban, which is a particular type of turban, the way they tie it. And they also have a beard. They are proud to identify themselves as Sikhs. And if any person wants to indicate that this human being is an Indian coming from India, he will always focus on a Sikh. For example, if you see in a cricket match or any match which is going abroad, and if they want to identify that Indians are there in the audience, they will focus on a Sikh. Though he is less than 2%. He is not an Indian, which is a sample Indian. Less than 2%. A minority of a minority. Yet, when the people want to identify that he is an Indian, they focus on a Sikh. Because he is proud to wear his label. Irrespective whether he enrolls himself in the army, or the navy, or the air force, he does not give up his label. And I was shocked that when I had been to Canada, I read a report that a Sikh who migrated to Canada and was a citizen of Canada, the Canadian government, they objected that he cannot wear the turban in the army. He fought a case in the court and he won the case. That even in Canada, he was allowed to maintain his label. Imagine, in Canada, he wants to identify himself that he's a Sikh and he won the case. We know many of the Muslims who when they go for a job and if the boss says, the beard is a bit shabby, I'll give you a job if you remove the beard, and many of us next day will shave the beard. It's a shame on us. It's a shame on us. The Sikhs, a minority of a minority. In the world population, it's insignificant. Yet, they want to identify themselves as Sikhs. I'm not talking about all the Muslims. I'm talking about few Muslims who are afraid to wear the label. It's a shame. And our beloved Prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, it's mentioned in Sahih Muslim, volume number 2, in the book of Salah, hadith number 1932, as well as 1933 and 1934. In 3 hadith, the beloved Prophet said that when you go for the Eidain Salah, for Salah of Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, the Ramzan Eid and the Bakr Eid, which as we know here, when you go for the Salah of this 2 Eidain, take along with you the young woman, as well as the menstruating woman, as well as the parda observing woman. Even though the menstruating women, they do not offer salah, they only supplicate, take them along. Our Prophet said, when you go for the Eidain Salah, take along with you the children, the young women, the parda observing women, even the menstruating women, even if they cannot pray. What was the logic of the beloved Prophet to command the Muslim Ummah to go along with the young women, the parda observing women, as well as the menstruating women, even if they cannot offer salah? What was the logic? The logic is that, as we know, for the Eid Salah, all the people gather under one place, especially in the villages. If 2-3 villages are close by, they gather in an Eidgah, a place where they offer Eid Salah together. In the city in Bombay, it's a bit different, because it's a city, it's a vast city. It's difficult. We can't go outside Bombay. It's too far. So we have the Eid Salah in various mosques, but yet we try and see to it that the congregation is big. But normally, in the other places, in villages, etc., You gather together in the open ground in Eidgah. For example, if there are 3 small villages, if they have a common Eidgah, so the Muslim, when he comes for the Eid Salah, he sees 30,000 Muslims in these 3 small villages. 30,000 Muslims, the morale of the Muslims is boosted. He feels proud. 30,000 Muslims all gathered together, you can make out that the Muslims, the morale is boosted. And if a non-Muslim, when he sees 30,000 Muslims in these 3 small villages, he will think 10 times before creating mischief with the Muslims. If he has to create any trouble for the Muslims, he will think 100 times. And simultaneously, the morale of the Muslim is boosted. That's why beloved Prophet said, when you go for Eid Salah, gather in congregation along with the children, young women, parda observing women, as well as the menstruating women, even if they cannot offer Salah. For example, if you're traveling in a bus, traveling in a BST bus, and suppose there is a Muslim sister of ours who's traveling in a bus. And if in that bus, along with the Muslim sister, sitting somewhere else, there are about 5 to 10 Muslims sitting in the bus wearing the label, wearing a cap and sporting a beard. These 10 people don't know each other. Neither do they know that Muslim girl. But if a non-Muslim wants to create mischief with the Muslim girl, if he wants to create trouble for the Muslim girl, for the Muslimah, the non-Muslim will think 10 times. Oh, there are 10 people in the bus, who are Muslims wearing a cap and sporting a beard. He will think 10 times before creating mischief. Even if those 10 people are old people, they can't even raise a finger. Even if they can't hurt anyone yet, only seeing them, he will think 10 times. Oh, 10 people who are Muslims. If I create mischief, these 10 people will pounce on me. It does wonders. Wearing the label does wonders. It does not only benefit you, it even benefits your other Muslim brothers and sisters.